Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Got him.
Got him, coach. Oh yeah, I can show off some of my new buttons.
We're keeping our elbows up, bud.
Canadians are reasonable, and we are polite, but we will not back down from a fight.
That should be Ollie's new thing.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
The aircraft starts upside down and burning.
Well,
That's a good one.
I did this. Why can't you?
Oh, some bangers, baby.
Bill, I'm gonna need you to be drug tested.
How many need to be drug tested?
Ooh, those are like puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway,
You said I cry enough as it is. I'm just kidding. I don't cry that often.
Honka honka, we're all gonna die.
That's your data, dumbass.
Oh my god. Oh, I've seen that video. It's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Meantime. Tim Ballum in the chat. Am I talking or you talking?
I'll talk. Hi.
From Universal Studios Hollywood.
Sure, I need the blurb though. I don't know I can't.
It's in the chat. Didn't we
Is
do
it
this
in the
last time?
chat?
Tim, we did this
Yeah,
literally
but
2
there's
days.
so many things. There's
It's
so many
literally
things in
4
the chat.
links up. It's 4 links up. You crybaby.
Okay, all right, do it now.
From Universal Studios
This Spin
Hollywood.
Podcast Network production is brought to you by our patrons. This continued support keeps the lights on. So thank you, Ollie, Dutch, Lake Clairvert, and as always, tons of mice.
Have you ever been
We love-
wrong? I was like, no.
We love you the most, tons of mice.
Yeah, he is our favorite. Low key. Not even low key. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows tons.
So I don't know what they call it. I know there's like a sisterhood, you know, like when ladies like spend enough time together, like sometimes their cycle can like synchronize.
Yeah, yeah.
Me and Tim shaved our faces without any knowledge that we were both going to shave our faces. I think we are together. We have bonded, as they say.
No.
I don't know what that means for us.
I'm gonna tell my wife, and she's gonna be like, "Why don't you just get married?"
Because we're both already married, smarty pants.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh,
Yeah, no, I was tired of it, and it was getting really uneven, so I was like, "Fuck it."
I mean, I'm a
Hard reset.
coven. I can say without shame, I did not take care of my beard. I had split ends all throughout that joint. They were cracking off. Like I was shedding hair like crazy. So if you're out there and you want to grow a full proper beard, most important step, you gotta take care of the skin underneath.
Yeah.
You gotta take care of the skin, and I haven't been doing it. I've been putting it off. You know, just doing it the little comb action. I gotta get in there and shampoo, condition. I got beard butter. I wasn't using that.
Butter.
I wasn't using that. My essential, not essential oils, but I had some oils and stuff that I was putting in there before. I wasn't doing none of that. I was just like, I'm gonna ride on my good looks like it is, and then I paid the price. That's on me.
Yeah, yeah. I had beard oil and beard shampoo or wash or whatever it was, and I wasn't doing that, and it was just getting itchy, and I was like, nope, not anymore.
Yeah. I blew it. I had a beard, and then I was irresponsible, so I had to shave it off, and now I got to start over.
Yeah, now I got to go through this awkward baby face phase again.
You know what my wife said when she came downstairs? Nice face.
My wife's usual response is, why?
Yeah, it's usually some like offhanded comment or like mostly offensive. Like I feel like nice face. Don't hurt yourself getting specific over there.
Yeah, and then when it gets too long, she's like, "Oh, I don't like kissing you because it's too long." I was like, "All right, well then, what do you want from me?"
The baby
Perfect.
did recoil. She was starting to recoil from my smooches because the beard was my mustache was poking her.
Dad, your face hurts.
It hurts. It's like kissing a toilet brush. You should be so lucky. So,
I wonder
yes,
what else we do together.
Oh, at the same time?
At the same time, yeah. What else do we do at the same time?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know, but there's got to be some correlation, right?
Probably the soy that we're both made of.
Probably.
The soy boy libtards.
I have been called a soy boy during an election, so
which is fine.
Which is fine.
I mean, I'm in Illinois. We grow soy here, so
Illinois.
Tim, okay? You know, I got enough shit on my plate as it is. And here you come.
I just want you to know that that's my default for the name of your state. I'm not doing that because like I'm a dick. It's just how I've always said it.
So I just looked on the thing. There is an option. I could make it so that only people who have subscribed to the channel for 60 years can chat.
So no one.
Like, I think that's pretty good.
60 years? YouTube hasn't even been around for that long.
Well, there's a years there's a unit, and it goes minutes, days, weeks, months, years, and then the duration goes up to 60. I'm like, so I can make somebody wait 60 fine years before they get to say anything.
Just don't have anyone in the chat at that point. Just be like,
we're gonna go 1 minute. 1 minute.
1 minute.
You gotta watch for 1 minute, and then you can complain, because then at least I know that you've listened.
then at least I know you'll have been informed for at least a minute.
At least a minute of content has passed through your ear holes. Before. Oh, I gotta grab that link. Yeah,
grab that link.
She's very shouty. We had a very fun bath time in which I'm pretty sure I should just install a drain in the center of the bathroom floor because very little water stays inside that fucking bathtub.
Like it's a kitchen. Like it's a commercial kitchen. It's just a drain in the floor so you could power wash it.
Well, the water in the washing is not the issue. It's the friggin' it's her friggin' not keeping any of the water in the damn tub.
She's just like splashing about.
She has a good time. She's got all of her little princess toys in there. And they are Oh, here you go. Here's a top tip from your friends over at the bin. If your kid has bath toys, make sure they are sealed. You do not want any water getting in there because it will grow the nastiest black mold you have ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Like the little squirty toys, like where you can squirt water. Don't get those. You're not in a pool. There's no chlorine. It will fill with mold. I had to throw at her, it wasn't a duck, but it was like a elephant or like a hippo or something. I was like, oh, it's just ugh. Disgusting. All right. Okay.
So what do we gotta watch today?
I gotta shill something real quick. We're shilling. We're shilling.
Is it us?
Today, sort of. Today at 5 p.m. Central, we will have Mandisa Thomas on to do a little interview with me. I'm super stoked, super excited. She came on to Neil the 604 Atheist show and did her deconversion, but I was, I think, out of town or something like that. I missed it. I wasn't the co-host that day. He just did it solo. So I've never got a chance to talk to Mandisa. I've been following Mandisa for like 3-4 years now. And I finally get to have the freaking conversation. And they got a revival of Reason. So it's like a black atheist convention in Atlanta. Bro, they cooking out, bro. And they got they're having a homecoming ball. Like they're having they got a DJ. I'm so salty. I'm so salty. So we're going to talk to her at 5 Central. We're going to do a little shilling for them, and then I'm going to keep that in there, and I'm going to talk about it on every show until the day of the conference. So I'll pop that in the chat, maybe. Where's my chat? Oh, chat. Oh, no. No, the echo.
No, the echo.
There we go. Hey, look, it's me.
It's you and you and you and you and you.
All right, we got a lot to get through, Tim. Stop wasting everybody's time.
No, never.
Never. Here we go.
Want to say, elbows up, folks.
Elbows up.
We're keeping our elbows up, bud.
In response to Donald Trump's threats on our economy and sovereignty, the Elbows Up movement is catching fire online, inspired by a Canadian comedy icon. That's Canada's Mike Myers on Saturday Night Live, making the distinctive gesture and mouthing that rallying cry, elbows up. If it looks familiar, he did it a week earlier. The message is catching on with everyday Canadians.
Damn, man,
What?
even the Canadians' resistance thing is cool. I
Like,
want to do elbows up.
Is that like they're gonna hit us with elbows?
Oh, you'll see.
And elected politicians.
Elbows up.
It's elbows up time. We will
Well,
never
Tim, you got to remember, what's the major religion in Canada?
Christianity.
Dumbass. Hockey.
kiss
Oh,
the gangster's ring.
The term goes back to Mr. Hockey himself, Gordie Howe.
Gordy was the sweetest guy on the planet, but when Gordy did elbows up, it meant people got black eyes and people lost teeth.
Now, as Donald Trump tries to force Canada into
You know, as with the rules. This is probably why we have to wear helmets in hockey, because of goddamn Canadians.
a corner, Canadians seem to be taking an expat celebrity's lead to show they're ready for a fight.
Mike sent the message, and I've been hearing it all day. Elbows up, elbows up, elbows up.
You know what sucks about all this?
What?
We're the target of the elbows.
That's true. Like, they're
Fuck,
throwing elbows
dude.
at us, man.
How the hell did we end up on this side of things?
So-
I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy.
Perhaps we've been betrayed.
Friday at midnight to
Come on.
fund the government. Republicans need at least Friday at midnight to fund the government. Republicans need at least 8 Senate Democrats to back their bill, and right now they've only got one. That is John Fetterman.
Hold on. What the fuck is that tattoo on Fetterman's arm?
I don't know. 15104. I think that's what that is.
Hey, Google that shit. What the fuck is his tattoo about?
I will.
I mean, I'm all about ink. I love ink, but
yeah, I got one.
that shit's
I got a.
armed and dangerous.
8 Senate Democrats to back their bill, and right now they've only got one. That is John Fetterman. The GOP accusing Democrats of political gamesmanship.
The threat of government shutdown, they're using it as some sort of attempt to wrestle power away from the president of the United States.
And I picked the Fox News coverage of this because holy fucking, oh man. Like, remember Spin? Like, this is just lies. Just straight up lies. Just lies.
United States.
Americans will witness them attempt to shut the government down.
Oh yeah, air horns. I forgot to give out air horns. Tim, you made me forget. K in the chat. Tim Bellum in the chat. And if you want your own air horn, subscribe to the channel. And then you will get a very cool notification, which I'm pretty sure is going to work this time.
So
50-50.
His tattoo is the one on his right arm lists the dates on which people died violently in Braddock while he was mayor, and the ones on his left arm displays Braddock's zip code.
What happened in
So
Braddock?
I think that was
The
his
shooting?
left arm. So that's the zip code for Braddock where he was mayor.
Was
I
it
don't know,
like
I'm gonna look at.
Oh yeah, I was like, what's the tragedy that I didn't hear about?
And if a shutdown happens, the Democrats will own it.
Yeah, because they're in charge, right?
Wild, reckless, far-left, progressive Democrat Party of today.
Yeah, they're so wild and reckless. They got a ketamine addict running around the government, cutting funding to everything. I can't believe the Democrats got Elon Musk in there. I can't believe
Yeah,
it.
I can't believe they did that.
They don't represent the American people. They're fighting against the will of the American people.
So and I love how they keep doing that will of the American people. because he got the popular vote for once, because Kamala ran the worst fucking campaign ever, and Joe Biden should have left like 800 years ago, and he didn't, which sandbagged all of our chances.
He never even got he never got a majority of the vote. He was at 49%.
Right.
He got a plurality. He beat Kamala by 1%. Like,
PC in the chat.
It's the closest election in
Ever.
like modern American history. Yeah, it's even closer than Bush v. Gore, and that was super close. It's crazy.
Oh, my thing's not over there.
As of now, Senate Democrats are not budging. They say Republicans drafted the bill without any of their input.
Hi, Tammy.
Despite not having the votes to pass.
Fucking Fetterman, get away from Dick Durbin.
Passed it on their own. That is a far cry from about a year and a half ago when Democrats called shutdowns a non-starter. Watch.
The last thing the American people want to see is another unnecessary and painful government shutdown. Democrats certainly don't want to have a shutdown. And many of our Republican colleagues have likewise claimed they don't want to see one either.
Chat program is.
Yeah, it's really cool when you just completely rob the context of any and all situations so that you can lie to stupid people.
On Capitol Hill with more. Hi, Chad.
Hi, Chad.
She fits the mold to be on Fox News. Don't worry, you'll be out next season. I'll replace you with one that looks just like you.
Dana, good morning. A government shutdown could hinge on whether Democrats are willing to break a filibuster on the GOP's stopgap spending bill. Democrats say they want to vote on their own interim plan, which would fund the government through the middle of April.
Which is stupid, by the way. Which is dumb.
Yeah.
Shut this bitch down. Close the doors. Turn it off. Turn it off.
I mean, that's what they want anyway, right?
Turn it
Isn't
off.
that what they want? They want the government not to spend money. Well,
turn it
not
off.
spending any money.
On the 30-day CR. I think it's 28. Okay. The one
because what they're doing is they're taking the American people and they're holding them hostage to give them complete carte blanche to do it, to let Elon do whatever he wants. Nope, I'd rather fucking take a slap on the wrist than the guillotine. Nope, shut it down.
1 month CR. That's what I want to vote on.
But would you vote for cloture to get onto a debate?
I haven't made a decision about that.
You better say no, or your ass better be fucking in the next rocket up to Mars with Elon. Because ain't nobody playing with this bullshit no more. You better not take the shit to cloture. You better not.
I have not made a decision.
Senator for the.
You better not.
Pennsylvania's John Fetterman is the only Democrat willing to publicly support the GOP plan.
Because he's a Republican.
And there's at least one Republican who is
a Zionist Republican at that.
Opposed to the GOP bill.
If you vote for this spending package, I think you're essentially
like,
Rand Paul.
Dude, Rand Paul is holding it down right now? Come on, man.
Rand Paul has never voted for a continuing resolution. He has a firm stance that he would like an actual budget rather than voting for CRs all the time. So that's to be expected from Rand Paul.
Got a dependent Rand.
voting for a spending pattern that will lead to a $2 trillion deficit. So I'm not for a $2 trillion deficit, so I won't vote for this.
Yeah, he's also an actual deficit hawk. He's not like the other Republicans where they pretend. Yeah.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says Republicans lack the votes to terminate a filibuster on their own plan. Republicans need Democrats to help. That's why the GOP is ready to blame them if the government shuts down.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Elon is shutting down department after fucking department, and y'all haven't said a peep. So what's the deal?
Now the ball is in Senate Democrats' court.
Why do you get to talk every day? God damn, she's annoying. I hate this lady.
Oh, the press secretary?
Oh my God. Give me
She's
fucking
the
Sean.
worst.
Give me Sean Spicer back. Give me Kellyanne Conway. Give me a familiar face. This new update on the press secretary app is trash. Give me the old version.
Do they want to shut down the government, or do they want to keep it open and funded for the American people who need this government to continue moving, to continue building on the momentum President Trump has created? It's up to them.
They need 60 votes to end the
President Trump
filibuster.
wants to fire everyone. Like,
what is she talking about?
This is like the definition of like doublespeak. Like,
yeah,
she's just spinning the fact that the Democrats don't want to pay for their continuing resolution as they're trying to shut down the government. I know that's a game that everyone plays every time this shit happens, and it happens way too often.
Yeah.
But what the Republicans are doing is cutting programs and cutting the government and firing people permanently. And she's all like, oh, they want to shut down the government, and so the American people don't get their services. They're not going to get their services anyway. So what's the fucking point?
That you fired half of them. What are you talking about?
They just
I want to keep it. I want to keep it open for the 30 people that are still working for the U.S. government. What are you talking about?
They just laid off half the employees at the Department of Education.
Daily Blase.
What?
Hi, Darren. Sorry.
Why don't we just do what they want and shut down the federal government? We'll see how well that works for them.
We'll help you. What? This is compliance, malicious compliance, but compliance nonetheless.
Filibuster. With poll voting no, they need at least 8 Democrats to crack the filibuster. Republicans.
You better not.
Schumer said that. Schumer said that shit ain't happening. They're not voting for it. It'll be Fetterman by himself.
Could pass the bill.
He's gonna do the Manchin shit. He's gonna do the what's the cinema. Kirsten Sinema, like it's the same person, it's the same.
Yeah.
As soon as he came out of his coma stroke, and everybody was like, "Hey man, we hope you're feeling better." That motherfucker just woke up Republican. Like as soon as he got better, he was like, "I hate democracy. I want to be a fascist." I don't know. Maybe he need to have another stroke to reset his brain back to default, because I don't know what the hell happened to him, but he tripping. Ryan. Pull.
With a simple majority, and hey, it's only Thursday. Sometimes they resolve these issues at the very last minute. Dana?
Especially when they haven't had a recess, and they very much want.
They have not been out this calendar year, and there have also.
It's been fucking 3 months. You don't get vacation yet. Welcome to the real world, jackass.
They're not. It's so wild. They're like, we want to go on break, guys. We don't want to do this running the government thing anymore.
I've been doing
get back to fucking work.
I've been doing 6-hour days.
They don't. Congress doesn't even open the floor until noon every day.
Oh, come on. And then
they
Marjorie
work from
Taylor Greene
noon
be late.
to 6.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert be late for votes and shit. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. Progress only in the
ridiculous.
Chat. All right, here comes LeJudas right now. Let me skip to him.
If Fetterman's not on board, the Democrat from Pennsylvania, roll this number 1 here from the Hill on Wednesday.
I'm going to vote yes for that. And my concern is it's a choice. It's like withholding your vote, and not, vote no, and shut down the government if we don't have the votes for cloture. You are voting to shut the government down, and that will absolutely punish millions of Americans. I've described it. It's like, burning down the village to save it.
Okay.
I don't know.
They are the ones who started the fire.
Right. They're slowly burning down all the houses, and we're just like, all right, you wanna do it? Let's fucking do it.
No, it's like they started the entire forest on fire, and now they're trying to burn the house. And he's like, you can't use our one fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
That's the only one we got. We got a whole forest out there. Think about it. No, you think about it. Brain dead idiot. You big ass hairy thumb. Like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Like, this is what fucking burns my ass, and this is why I hate being fucking associated with fucking Democrats. This is a Democrat. It's a corporate asshole who will just do whatever is trending towards the most campaign donations. And that's what he's doing. He thinks he's going to get on the MAGA train and get some money. That's what he thinks is going to happen. He's going to flip from a D to an R, and he's going to keep all that sweet, sweet cash. Well, you're going to lose.
Is he on the list to be primary?
Oh, yeah, he is now. Oh, yeah. Pull that up real quick. What's his name? Judas Fetterman.
Judas Fetterman. It's quite the list we're getting here.
Because you know what it is? They're scared.
Yeah?
They're scared of the future, and so they want to sacrifice everybody else. That's what it is. He needs his meds check. You right. I was reading the chat. Oh, did you see how they made all the remaining days of Congress count as just a single day so that no votes can be forced?
Yep.
Rachel Maddow had a pretty good clip on that. I should pull that up. Actually, I'll get that. Talk to him. I'll get it.
I saw that clip and I was like, holy shit. Like, they're literally bending the rules so that, because, well, I mean, we're going to see the clip, but they're literally bending the rules to just not have to face any votes because they don't want to be on the record about any of this. They don't want to be on the record about it. It's ridiculous. And, fucking going back to Fetterman, I was telling Mikey before we went on air that, like, the minute Some More News did an episode about John Fetterman and he's not actually a Democrat, I was like, oh, this dude is trouble.
He's compromised.
This dude is bad news.
He's been attacked by the body snatchers.
Any vote this year.
Oh wait, too far. Hold on.
A little bit too far.
Republicans quietly cede power to cancel Trump's tariffs, avoiding a tough vote. Cede power. They literally had the power to stop Trump from doing something that is hurting the country materially every single day.
And I think the first 3 minutes of this kind of explains that the only reason Trump's able to put in the tariffs anyway is because of some old ass law, because he called a state of emergency due to the fentanyl crisis at both borders.
Well, the tariffs, he said that there's like an emergency, there's an emergency on the economy or whatever, so that's why he's able to levy tariffs. And
he switched it?
Yeah. Well, no, he, like, day one, he declared emergency, an economic emergency, so that he could declare tariffs. That's the power. And I don't know if she'll get into like what Congress is actually ceding, but
I think so.
Okay.
They have the power to stop him from what he's doing. And so what did they decide to do with that power? They decided to give that power away so they no longer have that power, so they don't have to decide what to do with it. Quote, House Democrats had planned to force a vote on resolutions to end the tariffs on Mexico and Canada, a move allowed under the National Emergencies Act, which provides a mechanism for Congress to terminate an emergency like the one Trump declared when he imposed the tariffs on February 1st. That would have forced Republicans, many of whom are opposed to tariffs as a matter of principle, to go on the record on the issue at the time when Trump's commitment to tariffs has spooked the financial markets and spiked concerns of reigniting inflation.
So what do you think recession chances are now? Today is the 13th. We're on day 53.
Well,
what do you think the chances are?
I would like to ask this question to Irish Sweet, who's in the chat, who knows about these things.
Yeah, but we're dumb. That's why it's funny.
I know we're dumb. I heard some reports that it's between like a 20 and 40% chance now.
I'm going 80. I'm going out there on a limb.
Of a recession. Well, it was like Goldman Sachs and Wells Fargo were upping their
about
forecasts.
money.
Yeah, they wouldn't know anything about.
What the fuck? They don't know nothing about finance.
They certainly wouldn't know anything about a recession.
Ooh, this is not good.
Oh. Yeah, Irish Sweet says in the chat, stagflation chances are extremely high now.
I have a clip for that.
The aircraft starts upside down and burning.
Yep, that's our economy. The stock market is upside down and on fire.
Oh my God.
Republican leaders today, on Tuesday, slipped language into a procedural measure that would prevent any such resolution to end the tariffs from receiving any vote this year. They're literally ceding their power, giving it up. We don't want that power. And it gets better. In order to give up their power, in order to save themselves from the terrible dilemma of whether or not to cast a recorded vote on whether or not Trump should be allowed to keep hurting the country on purpose, In order to avoid having to cast a vote on that, Republicans had to figure out some way out of this trap. They had to come up with some way out of the provisions of this national emergency law. I mean, the national emergency law says Congress can end the emergency. He declared a national emergency in order to give himself the ability to proclaim these tariffs. The national emergency law says if a resolution to end the emergency is introduced in Congress, Congress must consider that. They have to start the process of voting on it within 15 days.
And that, like, dude, this Keebler elf, MAGA Mike, is pissing me off. Because he talks, like, every word that comes out of his small, crusty little mouth is just so full of condescension.
Yeah.
Like, look,
no,
I just have to, let me just mansplain this. Like, dude, you are 4'1", and you look like you make chocolate-filled sandwich cookies up in the knot of a tree somewhere. You do not talk to me like that.
So now we know Democrats are introducing that resolution. That starts the clock ticking. That means Congress is going to have to vote on this 15 days, tick-tock. In order to get around that binding requirement in the law, what did Republicans do? They proclaimed that between now and the end of this Congress, that is just one long day. That's just one day.
That's how it feels. That's how it feels.
I mean, who needs calendars? Am I right? We'll just consider this one long
day.
Unbelievable.
Literally changing the calendar so they don't have to vote on shit.
Even the calendar isn't their friend at this point. They say fuck calendars. That shit's woke. Woke ass calendar. DEI-ass calendar.
Congress. I am not kidding. Quote, each day for the remainder of the 119th Congress shall not constitute a calendar day for the purposes of this emergency declaration. The New York Times tonight called it a, quote, particularly unusual contortion. Republicans in Congress, quote, essentially declared the rest of the year one long day, so that 15 days will never elapse and they will never have to vote.
What? That's too ridiculous even for Congress. It's too ridiculous even for Congress.
Like, Republicans, you gonna let your man sit up there and do all that shit? You better get on the phone. I should get the switchboard number and just put it on here, let me get that. Or do you know it?
I know the number from my congresswoman, but I don't know.
They don't need to call her.
Yeah, they don't need to call her.
She's on it.
She's on it.
What is it called? Like the switch?
Oh,
congressional switchboard. Congressional.
You just go to
I got it.
house.gov/find your representative. Type in your zip code.
I can't put all that on a freaking banner that's going to be streaming across the screen the whole time. That is much too long. Here we go. New. Boom. 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 Scroll. There it is. Black Ops 1, the best font ever. Not a bad game.
So, and what I've learned from my experience working for a congressperson is that if the phone calls reach a critical mass, like everyone in the office takes notice. They have to respond in some way. So if you call enough, like, yeah, they'll be annoyed with you, but they record it. Not like they don't record like the actual phone call, but they take down notes about like what you're saying, whatever the topic is that you're talking about, and whether you're for or against it. So they will notice at some point that enough people are angry. And like if it's Speaker Johnson, his office probably won't care. But the rank and file Republicans, the people who are like vulnerable in elections, they're going to care.
At this point, I think everybody's vulnerable. You know,
there's still places that are like extremely safe for both parties. There's there's elections that can't be lost.
I don't know, man. They keep going after Social Security.
I mean, that's true. That's true.
They are stepping in it.
If you go after Social Security, you're going to piss off your base, and that's bad. That's bad.
Congressional. I hate typing in front of you. Switchboard. I did it.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're spelling wrong.
No, it doesn't. There's no spell check on this. I guess I could just do this.
But I think you're right. If they go after Social Security, like people
They're
are going to
cooked.
be upset. Because like that is such a slap in the face to the people who vote the most. Like
Right.
65 and up is always the biggest voting block because they always vote.
They ain't got shit else to do.
And you're going to turn them against you, even if it's like you're going to get primaried. You're going to have people out there primarying you because you cut Social Security. That's like the sacred cow to the American voter.
Sage in the chat. You don't, and the thing is, like, well, I don't know if we played it on Tuesday or not. Old ketamine Musk literally said, well, those entitlements, like that's a big chunk of where our spending's going. Yes, motherfucker, because motherfuckers was taxed on it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just like take the money like, oh, well, I need that money over there too. No, it don't belong to you. It's not yours.
And they always forget to mention that Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid are non-discretionary spending.
Right.
It is mandated by law they spend this money. It is not something they can just go around cutting without repercussions.
How dare you? How dare you? I mean, that's the way it works. But again, we can't, maybe that's our problem. Like, just like that Jubilee thing with Sam Cedar, maybe we're assuming that people understand how the government works, even when they're in government. Because like there is some levels of treachery that I definitely feel are afoot. I think some of it is stupidity. I can guarantee you, Marjorie Taylor Greene does not understand how Social Security works.
I think it's a really major
Shut up,
mistake and an insult to me.
Shut it up.
And I think you're right. And the people who consume this sort of like political news and we're just like huge political nerds. We have to realize that most people aren't like us, and they don't understand or care. And that's one of the problems, like working at the Congresswoman's office, that we come up against is like, I got a phone call yesterday, and this is a perfect example of what we're talking about. Someone called yesterday and said that they want the Congresswoman to not vote on a motion to cloture for the continuing resolution. I was like, well, it's already passed the House, and the House doesn't work that way. And he's like, well, you got to tell the Congresswoman to filibuster. And I'm like,
it's in
once
the Senate.
again, she's in the House of Representatives. She's not a senator. The Senate and the House have different rules. And he's like, well, I heard that you can do this and this and this. And I was like, once again, the Senate, like the Senate and the House of, I was like, everything in the House of Representatives is simple majority. That's how they operate all the time.
Yeah.
There's no filibustering. There's no unanimous consent. There's no motion to cloture. That's all the Senate. They have different rules. And people have a hard time understanding that because a lot of people think of the House of Congress as just sort of like they're governed by the same rules and they're basically the same, except one of them has a lot more people than the other. And that's just not how they're operated. And it's frustrating, I'm sure, as a voter to hear that you thought something that you could do isn't possible because it's just not the way it's run. And we need more civics classes, is what I'm saying. Kids need to be learn how the bicameral legislature works. What are we?
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Thanks for the lookout, Kay. The CEO of a South Suburban trucking company was found dead inside a burning building last week. Police arrested one of his employees in connection with his death.
Ouch.
Is this... I heard about the fire, and I heard that they found a dismembered body in it. A little after 4 p.m. last Wednesday, Crestwood police and fire responded to a call of heavy smoke in the ATG truckload building located at blah, blah, blah. The small fire was quickly extinguished. The fire found Koletsky's body on the second floor where there was heavy smoke. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office ruled his death a homicide resulting from injuries to his neck caused by a sharp or pointed object. Police began investigating the death and fire. Investigators identified a possible suspect who was an employee of the victim. Police said they determined the death was an isolated and targeted incident.
Is this like another Luigi situation?
It's a me. Imagine if that's what he said. Imagine.
Oh my God.
All right, let me feign sadness for his family. Don't care.
A moment of silence.
Yeah.
Ow! Oh my God! Kill me!
Sorry guys, we're in dark days. No fucks given. No fucks left. No fucks left. Speaking of no fucks left, fucking dude, if he doesn't get on the if he doesn't make the Sweet 16 of Unboxed Politics this year, then I don't believe in anything anymore. Representative Larson from Connecticut.
Yeah, Connecticut. Yeah. Hey, I don't see any of your Illinois people standing up.
Motherfucker.
Committee of Cognizance.
Wait, enhance. No, never mind. Don't enhance.
He's going to get loud.
Issue of inquiry.
We're going to go full screen for
this. So that we
this.
can actually produce before the committee, instead of an empty seat and empty chairs,
out of here,
the person who President Trump has designated to find $2 trillion worth of cuts. A person who has publicly said that he knows where to find those. They're in what he calls entitlements. What everybody on this committee knows with regard to Social Security is an earned benefit that they pay. And so the people in your districts are wondering whether or not, because the chairman just said that there's no way that President Trump is going to touch Social Security, even though last weekend he called it a scam. And that Elon Musk was on television just last night, again saying that, yes, their goal is to privatize Social Security. Given these statements, I don't understand why there's a problem with bringing forth Mr. Musk to testify before this committee. And if he's got all these ideas of fraud, abuse, and waste are true, then yes, Mr. Chairman, we should join with you to make sure that that's the case. But even the acting person handpicked by Trump has said, well, what they said about people receiving checks older than 115 years old is false. That's Trump appointment saying that. And so we continue to get the big lie, including this weekend again, where they said, oh, yes, and the Democratic plan is to bring illegal immigrants into the country by offering to pay them Social Security. There's not a thread of truth to any of that. And yet, this unaccountable person, not a federal employee, not a volunteer, but a special person who's not had to go on through Senate approval, and who this committee is now saying, yes, we agree with the president. He should not be accountable. He should be able to have free reign and do whatever he wants. We will willingly follow him and do whatever he says, because he's the wealthiest man in the world, and surely he must know how to save us from ourselves. This program of Social Security that, just happens to be the #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and for the children of this country. Yep, I agree. Mr. Musk and Mr. Trump aren't going to lose a moment's sleep thinking about the privatization and what it means to those individuals. And yes, you can say that he's not going to do this, but yet there's no commissioner here, no person under oath raising their hand and saying, yes, no, we have no intention of privatizing Social Security. He's made it clear time and time again. And if not, well, by all means, we'll be happy to have him here. We've sent letters. Chairman Esty knows 3 weeks ago I sent a letter asking for him to come immediately before the subcommittee. And we'll continue to do that because we want to hear, as does the American public.
Is this the right one, Tim?
I don't know.
God damn it. I was like,
Hey,
where's the yelling?
I sent you the right one. You're like, no, let's use this one. And, you know.
Oh, man.
I mean, you should just go to the clip that I put in there.
Oh, here it is. Because I was like, where's the guy sitting next to him super uncomfortable?
Yeah. Where's the independence of the committee?
There we go.
Where's the legislature? We're an equal branch of government. And you start off with a blather, and yet when we look at the empty seats here, where's Elon Musk?
Bring him out.
I'm sure he's a genius and is a very credible person because of the wealth he's accumulated. But that does not put him above the law or the responsibility to come before this committee in this Congress. If he's so great, if these plans and all the fraud and abuse that he's found are so eminent, why isn't he here explaining it? You know why.
Tell him.
Because he's out to privatize Social Security. He's been on television the last couple of days talking exactly about Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and what he intends to do. Privatize it. The American people, some of them may have been born at night, but not last night.
Tell them, boy.
People are aware of this. Every single one of your districts, all the money that comes in monthly, and you have not done, you as a Congress, have not done anything in more than 54 years. And now you have someone coming in to privatize a system, something you have longed to do going back to 1982, because Elon Musk thinks that this is the best thing to do. President Trump has called Social Security a scam. Elon Musk, as Mr. Neal said, called it a Ponzi scheme. Ask that of the people in your district. Ask that, Mr. Smith, of the more than 198,000 people in your district who rely on Social Security, and you won't even let the person who's planning to privatize it, who's telling the big lie in front of everyone, in bold as he possibly can, saying, this is what we're going to do. The Congress is in our back pocket. We don't even have to come before them and testify because we control the House, we control the Senate, and we control the presidency. And it's the tyranny of the executive. It's why these resolutions were first adopted back in 1789. Because the founding fathers knew that the executive branch does not have total authority over the legislature unless you have a willing party that says, no, we're going to do exactly what you tell us to do, Mr. Musk and Mr. President. It doesn't matter to our constituents. It doesn't matter how much money they are not going to receive. We're not even going to tell them the truth about what's going to happen to them. And every single one of these districts where they're being shut down and their personnel, and as Mr. Neal said, then after you cut and eliminate the people, say the agency isn't responding accordingly. No other agency operates for under less than 1%. With that, they administer to over 70 million people in the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and children. Shame! Shame! Can't bring people in front of this body? If he's right, if they're so good, if they're so just, why aren't they here telling the American people about it?
Yeah. Why you hiding?
They're not, because you know the truth. It's about privatization. I yield back.
Damn.
Tell him, Granddad.
I don't know. We don't even need to do unbox. That dude gets a fucking S rank from
S,
me. God
S,
damn.
we did it. We got our first S across the board, and it's an S across the board because he's wearing a three-piece suit and he got breakaway spectacles. He won.
Yeah.
And he
won.
got JFK on the lapel pin. He won.
Yeah. John Larson of Connecticut.
He just won Unbox Politics.
You just won.
Your check is in the mail.
Mikey, what I think you need to do
Yes.
is get a soundboard clip of him doing the initial, like, it's, you know, whatever he said at the beginning. I forget what it was. He was like, I forget what he said, but it was good.
Thanks, Tim. I'll do that.
You're welcome. My brain just stopped working for a moment there.
You want this?
Shame!
Shame!
Got it.
Yes.
At least something in DC still has a pulse. You know
and
what I mean?
John Larson is fucking old.
Him old. But we got a couple of good old white dudes that are just like, nah, man, fuck this. Nah, this is bullshit. Like, they're too old to give a shit at this point. You know? And like their frustration with the lack of spine, it almost looks like progressivism. It isn't. And I'm not confused. The congressional switchboard number is right over schma. Call your person. Call your senator. If you're in a red or a blue state, tell them no. Hell no. Tell them that the Ben podcast will be doing nothing but trying to get them primaried. I've been talking to a lot of, like, you know, grassroots groups.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been talking to them. So we just need to know who needs to go. And we get out there and we start knocking on doors and we start changing the climate. So
one of them's in Connecticut. Jim Hines, who voted to censure Al Green, he's one of them.
He made the list. Let's take a look at the list. Where the hell? Oh, do the list here.
You know, he really screwed the pooch on that one. And Hines is the ranking member of the Intelligence Committee in the House, but he did Al Green dirty there.
And no one does Al Green dirty. Oh, let's hear
Governor Tim Walz is Democrat of Minnesota.
Walz.
State
I was going to
heavily
say that,
impacted
Chris Hayes.
by
Fuck.
Trump's government purges
Say that,
and
man.
its trade war with Canada, which of course it borders. Governor Walz joins me
Oh,
now.
wait,
Governor,
wait,
great
wait.
to have you in the.
Let's catch up on the chat here. Billy is here. Chrissy, I think I said that. Scott. Steven. Oh, Ollie Man. Here, that's what I want to do. How's this, Ollie? This is your new one.
We're keeping our elbows up, bud.
I have to turn him up.
Program.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Let me just start with what this all looks like from your position as governor of Minnesota. Obviously, a state right next to Canada. I imagine you have good relationships. I imagine there's a lot of trade that goes on between your state and Canada. What is this? What has this all meant for your state?
Yeah, Minnesotans like Canadians. We share a lot, and we share a great relationship. First of all, they're our biggest trading partners. It's incredibly disruptive. The number of people who cross the border both ways, Minnesotans going into Canada to work and Canadians coming into Minnesota. It's beneficial to both of our countries. Look, we get 90% of our potash, which is the fertilizer for our huge ag economy. That's real impacts on real producers, driving up costs for producers at a time when we can't sell our products because Donald Trump has this ridiculous trade war going on. And just quite honestly, the chaos and the uncertainty that it causes, so many Minnesotans are asking, when was Canada our enemy? And
a just question, my liege. Like, it is strange to me that it takes someone like Tim Walz, who, like, you know, came from a red district, turned the seat blue, ran for governor, even though there's tons of red areas out in Minnesota, and has been doing right by Minnesotans despite the fact that there's all these red areas. He is still trying to protect the red areas. Still.
Hey, Mikey.
Yes.
Some breaking news.
Oh, boy.
A judge has ordered federal agencies to reinstate thousands of probationary workers.
Too bad the government shut down.
Yeah, too bad the government shut down. But
get loans then.
The judicial system continues to thwart Trump in most of these cases.
Good. Spank that crybaby.
And it makes no sense. It's very difficult as a governor to be able to set and think about budgets, to be able to think about how are we going to continue to attract folks here. And then he starts, as he did today, a day that I've dreaded as a teacher, as a parent of a student in public schools, and as governor, a senseless attack on the Department of Education. And I hope that I think your viewers know there's no plan behind this. Donald Trump doesn't know how anything works. Donald Trump is this caricature that had a reality TV show that pretended like...
Oh, you know what I just realized? Hey, all you European folk, we already had the time change over here. You guys get it at the end of the month. So I'm like, where is everybody? Oh, we're an hour early for that.
Yeah, we're an hour early, yeah. Simply Secular Dave's in the chat.
Dave. Oh, wrong one. Dave.
Like he knew how to run businesses. The reality is he doesn't. As a governor, we have to make these things work. Local school districts have to understand what are the impacts going to be when you lay off 1,300 experts who are there to make sure that every one of our children get an equitable education. And so it's chaos. And look, I think he thrives in this. And then he tells his supporters that only he can fix it.
Hold on, Scott, you better shut your goddamn mouth over there. I've treated you like my perfect little sweet angel boy, and you can hit me with this shit? Better straighten up and fly right, mister.
You just got to pronounce Illinois wrong, and it sends him up a wall.
He's the guy who goes and starts the fire.
You know what? With those when I went through puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway.
And then stands there and gives directions and acts like he knows how to put the fire out. He has no clue. So it's an arsonist with our economy. It's an arsonist with our institutions. He surrounds himself with people. The idea that the Secretary of Education would not know what IDEA meant, Individual Disability Education Act, that's like your mechanic not knowing how to put air in your tire. And she's in charge of this nation's educational progress. It is catastrophic. And look, the short-term numbers you were talking about, Chris, are real. And I think it flips people like, oh, you know, people.
So while he's making all the sense in the world, if we have elections again, what do you think his chances are, Tim? Because I think he has that kind of trend, he has the ability to like cross streams or whatever they call it. He has that not transitional. What is it called? When you can crossover. He has like that good crossover effect where even if people are deep red motherfuckers, he's still a mediumly old white guy, and he ain't talking about some crazy do others. He's like, just mind your own fucking business. That's what we do in Minnesota. We just mind our own business.
Yeah,
and it goes better that way.
I think that if he wants to, he's got a good shot in the primaries. I don't know who else would like be up against him, you know, if we have elections in 2028.
I heard Kamala might throw her hat in the ring, but
I heard she's running for governor of California.
We're gonna get to that next, actually. We'll give the governor a couple more minutes here, and then yes, we will talk about California and its treachery.
Who say, I voted for Donald Trump. I didn't know he would fire.
Oh, there you go. Scott's right. Crossover bill, and he's known now. Yeah, because no one knew who the hell he was before. But then when he got up there and started making fun of J.D. Vance, everyone was like, hey, I like this guy.
And he likes telling us how to fix our cars.
Donald Trump's not fighting for you or your family. Donald Trump's not fighting for you or me. No kidding. No kidding. What I worry about is the generational change that this would make. Look, Ruby Bridges needed to be escorted into those schools and the folks who went into Little Rock because we didn't have an education department that ensured.
And just for context, Ruby Bridges, for the Europeans, was like one of the first students to go into like integrated schools. So like post-segregation when they had to let everybody go to those schools. And fun fact that my mom told me a couple of years ago, my mom went to segregated school until 3rd grade.
Wow.
I had no idea. She just didn't mention it. She's like, it was just normal. Crazy.
Her civil rights were respected. That's gone now. And my son, those of you, your viewers who are out there now who have individual education plans that let them thrive and be their best people, what do they want to
I know you know, Paul, but somebody else might not have known.
to do? Warehouse these kids, not give them the skills, and this is going to impact local schools directly. So it is absolute chaos. And the question I ask is, you said it, Chris. He didn't run on this stuff. He told you he'd lower prices. You know the one thing Linda McMahon in her press conference did not say?
What?
She did not use the word children, if I'm not mistaken.
She didn't use the word children.
Ooh, that was when I
And
went through
she's
puberty. Honka honka, we're all gonna die. Anyway.
Linda McMahon is currently being sued along with her former husband, I think, and the WWE over sexual harassment in the workplace stuff. So
What?
I mean, I don't know how good she is for Secretary of Education, considering she doesn't know anything about education. She knows how to run.
Shame! Scared myself.
Damn, that comes in.
Damn. God damn.
She knows how to fail at races for the Senate, and she knows how to run a wrestling company. But other than that, she doesn't really know that much. She's just a rich person that likes Trump, and Trump likes her. Because they're both wrestling heels. But
that is true.
That's, yeah.
What is this?
Yes, that Linda McMahon.
Yes.
To Kane. Yes, that Linda McMahon.
Yes. It's all crashing down on Kay right now. It's all crashing down on them. It's all crashing down. Yes, that one. The one who went through a table with the neck brace. That one.
Yeah, right. The one who kicked her husband in the balls in the middle of a wrestling ring on live television at WrestleMania.
That one.
That one. The McMahon in every corner match one. Like
that one.
She let me tell you a little bit.
There it is.
Let me tell you a little bit of history outside of like she's a wrestling heel. She ran for Senate twice in Connecticut because they live in Greenwich, Connecticut, because they're fucking rich. And she put
Tim.
She put so many millions of dollars into these Senate campaigns against Senator Murphy and Senator Blumenthal, and she lost both by so much because people in Connecticut fucking hate her.
Crazy. Oh yeah, here's my
I love Tesla.
Oh shit.
She did not talk about educational outcomes. They view education as an expense, just like Elon Musk talks about entitlement programs. Those aren't entitlement programs. Those are the things keeping my mom alive. She paid into Social Security for 80 years. She should get that money back. And that's not what they believe.
Well, that's because Elon's an illegal immigrant who's never fucking paid anything. So he had in his defense, he had no idea that's the actual process. He's just been grifting this whole time. He has no idea how the actual system works. He's been skirting along the edges his entire existence.
I want to go back just on that Canada issue and then come back around to the education cuts. I mean, you know, this insanity about we're going to take Canada, 51st state, calling Justin Trudeau governor. It's nuts and it's stupid and it's silly. But at a certain level, it's like, I think across the border, understandably, they're starting to take it seriously. It's the only possible feasible rationale that anyone could kind of figure out for this trade war he's launching. And I wonder, again, as a border state with relationships, you've been talking to your other leaders in Canada. There was this 25% surcharge on your electricity, which was dropped at the last second.
Yeah.
Like, what do you make of those threats and what they mean to that relationship between our two nations?
Yeah. Yeah, and so I don't blame the Canadians. They have to respond to protect their sovereignty and what they're doing. And when Donald Trump puts these on and takes them off, this has so much more damage than him pretending like it didn't impact. We have become untrustworthy. Yeah. And so if they are buying our soybeans or they're buying our corn, they're going to go look for a fair trading partner. And what Donald Trump doesn't understand, he thinks what he did in 2018, where we subsidized farmers to the tune of about $1.63 per bushel of soybeans just to keep them above water as he was fighting his trade war. We lost markets that took us decades.
And he brags about that.
Yeah, he does.
He brags about the fact that he completely fucked over all these farmers, and the government had to bail all those farmers out and give them, that subsidy per bushel. Like we had to pay for his idiotic mistake. And then he says, I did so good making you guys pay for that.
Yeah.
It would have been fine if you didn't touch it,
ridiculous.
stupid. Stop touching shit. It's like a little kid at a fucking like at a Goodwill or something. Like, don't touch anything. You don't know if it's clean. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Simply Secular Dave says, if you try to come up with a list of people that Trump would have put in place 10 years ago, it would be half as ridiculous as his actual picks. That is so true.
Undertaker in charge of Health and Human Services.
Although, Simply Secular Dave, if you'll remember, Linda McMahon under the first Trump administration was Secretary of the Small Business Administration. So,
and you know what? She's and I didn't grab the clip, but there's a clip of her saying like, yeah, Trump put me in here pretty much to dismantle the Department of Education. So that's pretty much what I'm working on right now.
Yeah,
like
she
just
said that,
very casually.
Yeah.
Very casually that I'm just here to, tear it apart, break it down, make sure it doesn't operate. Because that's the only fucking thing she's good at is breaking shit. Clearly.
breaking tables, chairs.
Ow! Oh my God!
It's to cultivate. They went to Brazil. They went to Argentina. And now we've got a surplus of products while input costs have gone up and nowhere to sell them.
Hey, yo, them boats going to be going right past the west coast of the west coast.
Yeah.
We're going to be like, yo, you want to buy some, you want to buy some soybean? hey. We're going to be like the beer man over at the fucking Bulls game. Like, hey, beer here.
Got your soybeans here.
Hey, mister, you looking to buy some wheat?
This is catastrophic. I had an event out on a farm. I know many of those people didn't vote for us. But what I know about farmers is they understand international trade a hell of a lot better than Donald Trump. And they know this is just ridiculous. I think he gets this in his head. And it's, it's like pretend for him. Like it's not real. These are long-term cultural shared values. They matter. And the damage that's being done, the lack of trust that's happening, very difficult. So when I call Premier Ford or I call to Manitoba, they feel bad. They know that this is not all the American people doing it, but they feel like they have no recourse except to respond accordingly. And again, he negotiated the damn trade deal with them. If trade is so bad.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that I can't believe that Republicans can't fucking remember. Dude, this is his trade deal.
Yeah. He said, I don't like NAFTA. Let's renegotiate. Canada and Mexico agreed, and they did USMCA in 2018 while Trump was president.
I mean,
it's his shit that he's pissed about.
He did it 6 years ago or 4 years ago. It was you, dude. You did that.
Even now he wants to complain about bad trade deals. He's the one that made the trade deals.
God, he don't even remember. Dude, his brain is gone. Him and Elon.
His brain is gone.
They're just all mush up there. Just 2 bowls of oatmeal with no maple syrup because of the damn tariffs.
He loves Tesla.
Oh, and
I love Tesla.
So many computer.
With Canada, he was the guy who signed the deal. It defies logic. But look, I think this is how he ran business. He stiffed contractors. He stiffed workers. He doesn't pay his bills. He declares bankruptcy. The one thing is, his claim that he's the business president, he is the worst possible business executive that I have ever witnessed. And I hope,
big facts.
This is what we need. I need the business community to speak up. The Wall Street Journal, thank you. Thank you for saying this is the stupidest trade war, because I've been saying it. And so now I can go back to my constituents, Republican constituents, and say, this is the reality of what you're facing. So the
Wall Street Journal, owned by Rupert Murdoch.
That left-wing bag.
Trump's bestie, who, if I read correctly, Rupert Murdoch and Trump had like daily phone calls during his first administration. Trump, they loved each other. And now the Wall Street Journal is calling him very dumb.
Because it is dumb. You know what else is dumb? Platforming Nazis. Here's your best friend in the whole wide freaking world, Tim.
Oh man, I got a story. Well, I got some stuff I learned about Steve Bannon to talk about after this video.
Well, you do your thing first.
Okay, so I was reading a book about dark money in politics.
And Steve Bannon came up?
And so all of our British viewers will remember Brexit.
Oh, how could they forget?
Apparently, and they may know this, but I didn't know this. Steve Bannon had quite the hand in funding the Brexit movement.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Him and Nigel Farage, they're tight.
They don't know each other. Oh, they do know each other.
Yeah. Steve Bannon helped fund the movement, and in return, some of the British conservatives helped fund the old Trumpy campaign there. He introduced the British to dark money in a real way. And their campaign laws were not prepared for it.
And I've been, when I do the Politics Social, everybody check out Politics Social UK. Check out that channel. Hang out with Graham and the rest of the crew. They need to get their laws in order now. Because once they're done over here, it's gonna hop the pond just like COVID, and you do not want that over there. Get your laws in order. Get your money out of politics as best as you can. Make sure you can't have any foreign investors into your elections, because they are going to bombard, whether it's Nigel Farage or whoever else refuck decides to pick. They're going to it's going to be a deluge of dirty money going into that campaign. And if you don't get it fixed now, you're not going to have time to react in time.
Yeah, Steve Bannon's been fucking with European politics for as long as he's been fucking with our politics.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm pretty sure the 3 pens on his shirt are some sort of white nationalist signal.
I think his whole look is a white nationalist signal.
Here, let's take a listen to because Gavin Newsom, governor of California, Democrat, I'm sure he's tearing this guy asunder. Let's take a listen here.
Of which we're now trying to obviously recruit not just the working poor, but actually the poor itself to join our broadening coalition.
No, I appreciate it. I want to talk more about that.
He appreciates that. I don't know if it's a verbal tick that he has, but every time Steve Bannon says something unhinged, he's, oh, I appreciate that.
Why would he appreciate that?
I don't know.
Why? Well, okay. Question the first. Why does Gavin Newsom have a podcast?
It's not like he has anything to do.
Like run a whole state, run like, the most economic state in the country. Question the second. Why is Steve Bannon on his podcast? Why is he platforming Steve Bannon?
What is to be gained? What is to be gained?
This is like 100% a Bill Maher move.
Yeah.
This is exactly what Bill Maher would do, and he's done it. Steve Bannon has been on Bill Maher's show more than once.
Well, they're the same. They're the same guy.
And Bill Maher does the same shit. He's like, "Oh, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for talking about whatever." He's like, "We don't agree, but it's good to have you on the show." Like, stop platforming Nazis.
Word.
Because I think it's interesting, just as one of the points of contrast with you and, frankly, Trump himself right now is on some of the issues of tax policy in relationship.
Yeah, what an interesting issue. Let's dig in, shall we? Let's unpack this. The fuck is wrong with you, guy?
This notion of who are you for?
Why is he being so nice to Steve Bannon?
Can't understand it.
Steve Bannon fucking hates him.
Yeah, and would actively send a mob after him if he thought he could get away with it. Would actively send a mob after him.
Steve Bannon was at one point too radical for Trump. Like, Trump threw him out during his first term, and then Bannon weaseled his way back in.
Well, no,
Bannon
went to jail. Yeah, because he fucking kept all that wall money because people are dumb and they thought that they could go to a fucking GoFundMe page hosted by Steve Bannon to fund the government project of building the wall, because that's how the government works. God, $50 million they just gave him cash because they're stupid.
Where's Brenna? Where's Brenna on this? Why is her governor doing this?
I don't know.
And you've been pretty critical about the proposed tax, the extension of the existing tax cuts that disproportionately favor the wealthiest. And you are making the point that it should disproportionately focus on the middle class and working folks.
So you're gonna whitewash and insane-splain his fucking idea to usher in a complete kleptocracy and oligarchy. You're gonna just like, oh well, so what I'm hearing you say is, no, let him talk. He told you, he's like, no, we got to get rid of all these entitlements. That's the problem. Like, they're on the same page.
I don't get it. I don't get
Governor,
it.
I'm not so sure. Let me get there. So in 17,
No,
I
don't
was
let
a
him
big
get there.
advocate of that in the first Trump tax plan of actually raising the rates on the upper bracket.
Right.
And doing actually more to the lower bracket and the corporations. And it was not just what I thought was right.
Yeah, the lower bracket corporations. Gotcha.
But also politically expedient. At that time in the spring of 2017, it was really Bernie Sanders and Pocahontas that was going to be the.
Oh, and there you go. Let's listen to
Wow.
Gavin Newsom push back on that, everybody. Let's listen.
The
Senator
number one,
Warren.
Elizabeth Warren is going to be Pocahontas. We call it going to be the challenge.
Says it again. He doesn't say shit.
I don't know why he's being so congenial. Like, all right, so let's think about this we're podcasters, right? We podcast.
We are.
And we've done podcasts where we've had contentious guests on shows, mostly Dutch, but and it's always good as a host of a podcast to push back against your guests, especially if they are of opposing political views, because that's how you get the conversation. That's how you get the people to watch, because you're saying, well, I don't, sort of the same thing that like Sam Cedar did in that Jubilee thing. Like, we're not going to agree, but here's what I think, and whatever you think is fine for you, but not for me. Why is Gavin Newsom being the nicest guy possible to Steve Bannon?
I mean, this guy literally Sig Heiled, like 2 weeks ago?
Right. And he is constantly pushing extreme right-wing ideology and insulting people. Elizabeth Warren, you're right, he said it twice. And Gavin Newsom's like, oh yeah, Senator Warren.
I appreciate that.
What the fuck, dude? I would stop the show right there and be like,
get
that's
off,
not,
apologize or we're fucking done here.
that's not how you refer to a senator of the United States. I don't care who it is.
Apologize now or get the fuck off my show.
Right.
Take it back or leave.
Yeah. And if you don't want to stop, then that's fine. The show can be over. We won't air this.
Oh, I'm airing the first 8 minutes of this, and then I'm going to air the part where I kicked you the fuck off of my show, so that people know that I don't associate with that shit and I don't tolerate it. He goes on for another 50 minutes with him.
My God.
Unbelievable.
I honestly don't know why you would give Steve Bannon an hour of you're trying to be like, oh, I listen to everybody from all sides. That's fine. Great. Do that. However, when Steve Bannon says shit that is incorrect, wrong,
Racist,
or just hateful, call him out on it. Say, Steve, you're being kind of a fucking asshole over there.
Hey, why don't you clean it up, dickhead?
Yeah. This is my show, not your show.
Right. You're not in the war room. You're on my shit, bitch. Look at my contemporary lamp right here.
Yes, look at my default living space.
That I totally live here.
This is not a stage at all. This is my actual house. Look at all the personal pictures. Yeah, Gavin Newsom. Throw him up there. Hey, California, how about we do another recall election?
Dude, honestly, put Arnold Schwarzenegger back in there. At this point, like, he's the only one standing up for Trump and all this Nazi shit. He called Elon Musk a couple of words, but at least the governor would at least the governor would do something. Diz, I think I forgot you, Diz. No, he didn't.
What's next on this train wreck?
Train wreck going northbound train wreck headed to Greenland.
In Greenland, a party that favors a gradual path to the territory's independence from Denmark has pulled off a surprise win in the parliamentary elections. Leaders there say the result sends a clear message to President Donald Trump that Greenland is not for sale. Now, the territory is in the spotlight after President Trump voiced his interest in taking control of the island. Trump told a joint session of Congress last week he thought the U.S. would get Greenland one way or the other. He did later clarify that he supports the people of Greenland's right to determine their own future. USA Today World Affairs correspondent Kim Helmgard joins us now. Kim, thank you so much for being with us. This is considered an upset victory. Talk to us a little bit about the Democratic Party.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them. They're going to get an elbow. Yeah.
Say, oh, you think you got that? You think it's a game?
Ain't coming over here taking our shit, homie.
Yeah, you're right. You know, from the Trump administration perspective, it is
That's
kind
a
of
last name.
Holy shit. It's easy to say, dude. It's Mjolnir. Kim Mjolnir.
Hjelmengrad.
Where's one angry
Hjelmengrad?
Where's one angry pagan when you need him?
Right?
He could read that perfectly and put out a phonetic spelling for me.
I'm gonna say it's pronounced Stormbreaker.
Thor Stormbreaker. Got it.
Yeah. Odinson.
result. The outcome was both surprising
Ragnar Lothbrok
and not. The unsurprising part is that the Democratic Party, which is a center-right party led by Jens Friedrich Nielsen, as you noted, sort of said the result should send a clear message to Trump that Greenland is not for sale. And this is a party that wants independence. It just doesn't want it straight away. Now, it's a pro-business opposition party, and what it's essentially looking to do is it wants more commercial activity in Greenland, basically to finance Greenland's welfare state, so this is schools, education, health, all that.
Oh, the monsters. The monsters. They want to invite a couple of businesses in there so they could tax the shit out of them so that they could have free health care and take care of their kids and have better schools. The monsters.
How dare they?
Are they taking green cards? Like, are they giving those out? What do we have to do to get in there? It's a little cold for me, but it's free.
Hey, I'll take it. Whatever, man.
I don't plan on being outside no way, so.
that. The surprising part is the part that the party that came in second, the Nalarik party, which also wants independence, but it doesn't want it to happen as quickly as it wants it to happen more quickly. It wants closer ties to the U.S. It's just that it stopped well short of characterizing, these ties as anything like it wants to become America's 51st state.
They will ruin your country. Do not let them in.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
So what does this all mean for Trump's plans to take over Greenland?
Well, first thing we should say is we haven't heard from Trump this morning yet, since these results. Trump has not ruled out anything militarily or economically, since he started this process. Tariffs, as we're finding out, are kind of a central part of Trump, of the way that Trump seems to like.
Yeah, because he doesn't know what they are. Like, every time he introduces a new tariff, it's just pain on us. But he's dumb.
Yeah, he either doesn't understand how tariffs work or he knows exactly how they work and is lying about it. Like,
but that's the
those
thing.
are the two options.
But if it was like, if he knew what it was and he was doing this intentionally, it wouldn't be accomplishing the goal that he has. Like, this doesn't accomplish any goals. Like, it's just taxing the people more. And he said, aha, that's how we'll raise money for taxes.
Unfortunately, breaking news on the Greenland thing.
Uh-oh.
Trump said on the U.S. annexation of Greenland that it could happen, and that the U.S. needs Greenland for international security.
NATO, quit fucking. Get your shit together. You're probably gonna have to stop an idiot
to get things done. So I think it stands to reason that, he could try to sort of squeeze Greenland and Denmark together economically through tariffs. UK,
y'all need a trading partner.
There is a sort of another point that's worth mentioning, which is essentially that this party that came in second, this Nalaric party, they because they want independence so quickly, they also have said that they favor closer ties with the U.S. Even though they don't want to become part of the U.S. And so in a sense, the White House may have
don't do it.
Found a kind of kindred spirit in one of the parties that did well in this vote.
Resist.
But overall, I guess I would sort of rely on what Danish political scientists have told me in recent days, which is that basically, quote unquote, quote, unless Trump does something sort of nuts, end quote, in the form of an aggression or a crazy reaction, they don't think that anything is going to happen straight away, and that, Greenland over the long term will probably get independence. It could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 20 years away.
All right, Kim Hell.
Didn't mean to click that.
So Diz in the chat, the name of the book that I keep referring to is called The Divider. It's about Trump's first term. It's basically it's an 800-page book on Trump's entire first term and all the craziness that happened.
Oh, Dave says Jellemgaard. That's how we say that previous gentleman's last name. Jellemgaard.
Jellemgaard. Okay.
Why didn't they just write it like Dave did?
Yeah, Mjolnir sounds better.
Yeah.
All right. So this is
Oh boy.
this is a video that I found. This is fucking. I'm not gonna say anything. This is fucking wild.
Just gonna go ahead and enhance.
Trump said this stuff in front of the Irish Prime Minister, for context's sake.
I'd like to see the United States not have been so stupid for so many years, not just with Ireland, with everybody. I looked at trade deals. I was telling the group yesterday, I looked at trade deals in term one. It's one of the
Who's this Trump idiot who wrote the one between us?
reasons I decided I had to do this, because somebody had to straighten it out, and I didn't see anybody that was going to. I looked at trade deals that were so bad, I'd actually say, how is it possible that this could have happened? Who would have been so stupid to let these deals happen?
You were president 2 presidents ago. It was you.
You done that.
For instance, when the pharmaceutical companies started to go to Ireland, I would have said, that's okay if you want to go to Ireland. I think it's great. But if you want to sell anything into the United States, I'm going to put a 200% tariff on you. So you're never going to be able to sell anything into the United States.
We already pay 500% over what it actually fucking costs. So that'd be a discount.
Right. We're already paying way more than Europe does for fucking pharmaceuticals anyway.
That we make.
We fund a lot of those pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
The United States gives them massive tax breaks.
That always pissed me off. Everyone else gets free healthcare, and then we have to pay for all of our healthcare, and then we have to pay top dollar for all of our prescriptions, and then they mail it all over the place, and everyone else gets it cheaper than us. What the fuck?
And I know that Ireland made themselves a tax haven by reducing their corporate taxes.
Yes, they did.
But Ireland is such a better place to have a business.
Yeah.
It's a better place for employees, because those employees actually get benefits. That's why all the pharmaceutical companies and the financial industry is moving there, is because it's just better. Ireland is a better place to have a business, a better place to be an employee. People are happier there, despite what you might read about from Irish authors. People like it there more.
Cue the Eric Andre meme. Let me in.
Ireland, let me in. God damn it.
Do you know what they would have done? They would have stayed here.
So are you planning to lower corporate taxes to Mexico?
He's so lucky that I wasn't.
Are you planning to,
He's so lucky.
sir, are you planning to lower corporate taxes to Metro Island? Are you planning to lower corporate taxes to Metro Island?
Well, we are planning to lower taxes, yeah, if the Democrats behave, but the Democrats have no
behave.
If the Democrats
Negro, you was selling goddamn used cars on the front lawn of the White House, telling me to behave.
The same day he did this. The same day he did this, he was out there with Elon saying, "Who wants to come buy a Tesla at Uncle Donnie's crazy car lot?"
I love Tesla.
Bitch.
No clue. You saw that the other night during the speech. 2 young women were slaughtered by illegal aliens. One young man has very serious cancer and many other problems. We look at the people up there. They all
What the fuck are you talking about?
had difficulty.
I don't know if that was rhetorical or not, but he's talking about the people that he was presenting during his speech, like the Lake and Riley stuff. And,
his political pawns.
yeah, and the kid that he made a Secret Service agent.
Enjoy your fake job, kid. Also, your cancer research has been shut down, so.
And you're right; those people were fucking political props.
Yeah.
And the Democrats and the congresswoman that I work for were getting calls about it for days about how dare you not stand for the cancer kid.
They don't give a shit about him.
You should have stood and clap for the cancer kid and the Lake and Riley people. How dare you?
I'm not sorry. But fuck that kid.
Very serious difficulty.
There's tons of kids out there.
But
yeah, there's lots of kids
when
out
we're
there.
talking about 2 young girls, beautiful young girls.
Yeah, they love that kid so much that they fucking destroyed the Department of Education.
Yeah.
It's Lake and Riley, and you know the whole story. That evening was a disaster for the Democrats, in my opinion. And I would mention, and I'd see 2 mothers that were inconsolable as they stood, crying.
They look pretty consoled.
Yeah, they look pretty consoled.
Their
to me.
daughters have been absolutely just destroyed, killed.
And that's why he banned automatic weapons in this country.
Viciously killed. And the young man who loves the police departments, he had cancer and has cancer, very bad cancer. There wasn't from people sitting there, Democrats, there wasn't a hand clap. Nobody stood. They were just stone-faced. These people are sick. There's something wrong with them. There was
motherfucker.
There's something wrong with them. You're the one using those people as political props.
Change your goddamn diaper and shut your goddamn mouth.
There's no standing for anybody. The only thing they liked is when they heard about the death taking place with Ukraine. They were happy about that. They were happy about that. Pocahontas was very happy. She's the one that was slapped.
Wonder where Trump got that lie from.
God damn it.
Wonder where he got that from.
Right?
That's why I looked at her. I said, "Oh, it's Pocahontas." These people are sick. They don't know what's happening in the real world. The Democrats have to get their act together, and if they don't vote, then what you're going to do is you're going to have taxes that are going to go through the roof. You're going to have a very bad time. You're going to have some very bad things happen, and people are going to blame the Democrats. And Schumer is a Palestinian, as far as I'm concerned. He's become a Palestinian. He used to be Jewish. He's not Jewish anymore. He's a Palestinian. Okay.
I'm sorry. What the fuck did he just say?
I was listening to Lawrence O'Donnell's breakdown of this. And Chuck Schumer is the highest ranking Jewish person in the American government.
Yeah.
He's not Jewish anymore.
He's a Palestinian.
He's a Palestinian, which he uses as a slur, as a pejorative now.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, go ahead.
We're not giant fans of Chuck Schumer for his recent, let's call it, lack of energy when it comes to fighting Trump. However,
we
Chuck Schumer,
will win. We will win.
calling a Jewish man a Palestinian as a pejorative is wild.
Where's the pushback?
Yeah, what Where's I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I haven't heard anything about even like Schumer pushing back on it, except for the fact that the Democrats aren't going to vote for the continuing resolution, but the president's just going around saying this shit.
Yeah, you're not a real Jew anymore. Who else? What other leader, maybe from the 30s, decided, hey, let me decide who's a Jew and who's not?
Oh my God, was that on Lawrence O'Donnell's show?
Yup.
Oh my God. I mean, it's true. If I was Jewish and or Muslim, I would be incredibly insulted that the president doesn't seem to care about either of their religions, and he doesn't. First of all, he doesn't think any better of Jewish people than he does Muslim people.
No,
because I think I remember from a book that I've seen quoted that he only likes Jewish people who count his money.
Yeah, he doesn't want no big black guy counting his money. I'm paraphrasing here, but it said he wants little Jewish guys that wear yarmulkes all the time. That's who he trusts with his money.
Right. He is racist. He's bigoted towards anyone for any reason that he doesn't like. And it's disgusting. Any other president would have been like thrown out of the room. Like the Secret Service would have came in and would be like,
"Oh, you're done.
We gotta get the president out of here. There's something wrong with him."
Where's the 25th Amendment? Kay in the chat says this is the origin of the word anti-Semitism. The Nazis called Jews Semites to compare them to Arabs, call them fake Europeans, similar to the use of the word Guinea as a slur against Italians, to compare Italians to Africans. Like, and I don't know. There's an Irish guy sitting right next to him. Tell him he's not Irish, because guess who the Irish support? Full voiced. The Palestinians and their right to be free.
And Ireland as a diplomatic country is seen as like the neutral country that's able to like go out and get diplomacy done. He's like that, and he's out there fucking saying this shit in front of the Irish Prime Minister.
Tell the Irish Prime Minister that he's not Irish.
Yeah,
and watch your front teeth get knocked out from a headbutt.
And here's how serious the Irish people take or the Irish government takes their relationship with the U.S. government before Trump, before this term. The U.S. ambassador's residence is right next to the Irish Prime Minister's residence.
Mm.
That's how serious they take their relationship with America. And Trump's out here saying wild shit in front of the Irish Prime Minister. So I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
And look at the little indignant smirk. You know what I mean? With his little with his no lip having ass.
I don't know how the Irish Prime Minister sat there for an hour.
I mean, again, the Irish have been full-throated in their support for the Palestinians in Gaza. Full-throated. But dumb shit didn't even fucking know that because he doesn't watch the fucking news. He didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. There's no way he knew that.
Well, he watches the wrong news.
Bad things happen.
He does
and
watch
people
the
are
news,
going
but it's all OAN.
blame the Democrats. And Schumer is a Palestinian as far as I'm concerned. You know, he's become a Palestinian. He used to be Jewish. He's not Jewish anymore. He's a Palestinian. Okay.
And on to the next question.
On tax tariffs, there's been a lot of on and off, some inconsistency.
There's no inconsistency, only with NBC, which is one of the worst networks on television, by the way. Let me just tell you the inconsistency.
He's a rambling ass grandpa.
Yeah.
I have the right to adjust And I was called by the automakers, as an example, General Motors, Ford, etc. The big three, the big four.
Fucking idiot.
He doesn't even know. He was probably called by the automakers, and they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It probably wasn't the automakers. It's probably the unions.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
the automakers will just fucking offshore. They don't give a fuck.
Well, they're fucking. Why are you trying to raise the price of our cars in your country? Like, why are you doing that?
And they asked me to do them a favor. Could I delay it for a period of 4 weeks so that they're not driven into a little bit of a disaster for them? They actually love what I'm doing, but they had a problem. And I'm not like a block that just, I won't delay. It's called flexibility. It's not called inconsistency. It's called flexibility. And I think you want me to be flexible too.
Is flexibility going to be your ongoing view toward?
Sure, I'll always have flexibility. But
what a fucking moron. God damn.
Oh God, there's more of him.
Oh
I forgot
God,
about this.
why did you trick me?
Reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it.
President Donald Trump is doubling down on his promise to take back the Panama Canal.
We're taking it back. We're going to take it
It's not ours.
back. He just said take it
It
back.
never was.
But can he actually do that? His declaration comes more than 2 decades after the U.S. handed full control of the canal to Panama.
This would be akin to Panama trying to negotiate control over the Brooklyn Bridge or the Statue of Liberty. Panama would never, in any scenario other than under threat of invasion, give up this asset.
And he hasn't taken the possibility of a military.
Do?
Hey, you know what
Trump's trying to do?
Hey, you know what you do? Fill that bitch up with cement. Fuck them. Fuck them. Everybody can go hungry. Fuck them. Put 1,000 trees in that motherfucker. Put some piranhas, alligator snapping turtles. Fuck them. Scuttle the ship. Fuck this.
Invasion off the table.
I'm not going to commit to that.
Here's how he's threatening to take back the canal, why the strategy wouldn't necessarily lead to a full takeover, and the risks that come with it. In a trip to Panama in early February, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that Trump had made the preliminary determination that Panama was in violation of a treaty that it agreed to when it took over the canal, an argument he staked the U.S.'s claim on.
Panama, as you know, has violated the agreement, totally violated the agreement.
You know your little dumbass can't read.
Yeah, does he even know what the agreement is that he says they violated?
You have not read no damn treaty. You can't read. We saw you try to read that letter from the king, sweat rolling down your face. Look like a little boy at the blackboard trying to fucking, 2 + 2, come on, I know this. Damn it, Donald, you can do it.
The treaty requires the canal to be permanently neutral, meaning it can't give preferential treatment to any country. For example, its tolls have to be just, reasonable, and equitable. One of Trump's key arguments for how Panama is violating the treaty is that
DEI in the Panama Canal.
It's being operated by China. China.
Panamanian authorities insist that Panama is in
You need to be over there glazing Xi instead of fucking glazing Putin. Which you
Yeah,
dumbass.
right.
full control of the canal, but some of the concern stems from significant investments by Chinese companies in the region.
Diz says BlackRock has bought a couple of the docks around the Panama Canal.
Interesting.
Which critics say could have national security implications for the U.S. At the forefront of
Oh wait, tons of mice. What's gonna do for tons of mice?
Pretty soon we're going to become this country.
the conversation are ports at each end of the canal that have been run by the Hong Kong operator C.K. Hutchison. But in early March, that changed.
Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal.
A consortium of investors led by BlackRock agreed to buy a majority stake in the ports from Hutchison, a move that would bring them under American corporate ownership. But other projects have also sparked concerns for the U.S., like a 2018 contract that Chinese companies won to build a new bridge over the canal. Some experts say it could pose risks.
A bridge cannot control a canal, but a bridge can be sabotaged to block a canal. A bridge can be used to plant scanners and sensors in the rebar and the concrete.
John Feely was the ambassador to Panama under President Obama and during Trump's first year in office, but he resigned over ideological differences with Trump. He raised alarms about China's involvement at the canal during his term. He says that while China doesn't necessarily...
Like, Panama looks like such a beautiful place. Like, it just sucks that all of these little PP scaredy boys just want to just, like, the world is so amazing and beautiful and great. And then here come the white dudes. Like, God, just stop touching shit. Just go sit on your fucking golf course, bake in the sun, and lie about your golf score. Is that so fucking hard?
Necessarily pose an immediate threat to the canal. In other places, China has been known to
use their commercial expansion as a front for espionage, for theft of intellectual property, for information gathering. So I don't fully reject the president's concerns about Chinese presence in Panama. I do reject the bellicose language and the manner in which he has suggested the United States should address it.
A spokesperson for Beijing's embassy in Washington said China will always respect Panama's sovereignty over the canal and recognize the canal as a permanently neutral international waterway, and that the allegations that China uses facilities for espionage are nothing but slander. The embassy also alleged a
well, you know you're lying. That's cap. You know you be spying.
Yeah.
Like,
let's not go that far. All right.
Easy.
large global surveillance operation by the U.S.
Everything. Like,
Trump
chill.
has also claimed that U.S. ships are charged higher fees for using the canal, which Panamanian authorities have...
Is that a boat on a barge?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Boy, float the damn boat, man. That's like a ship on the barge.
Huh.
Y'all wasting money.
have denied. He also stakes the U.S.'s right to the canal on another idea.
We built it. We're the ones that use it.
That it deserves control because of the canal's history.
The Panama Canal.
From 1904 to 1914, the U.S. funded and oversaw the canal's construction, spending about $375 million on the project, the equivalent of more than $11 billion today. As part
money that they earned.
Right.
What year was this? What year was this?
Part of the deal to build the canal, the U.S. also controlled the canal zone, and over decades, tension about that presence grew.
It was pointed to by all of the U.S. adversaries in Latin America as a sign of U.S. bullying, U.S. imperialism.
In Panama, an incident over the display of rival flags by Panamanian and American...
The incident over rival flag, like the whitewashing, is crazy.
Students set off days of bloody rioting.
The reason that the United States handed the canal over to Panama, in large part, was because of fears that managing the canal in a hostile environment might not be possible.
And I believe that this treaty...
Damn right, they ain't giving that shit up. They finna make this shit suck every day.
can open up a new era of understanding and comprehension.
Peanut Man.
The decision to transfer the canal to Panama was made by President Jimmy Carter in the late 1970s.
That was a big mistake. Giving the Panama Canal to Panama was a very big mistake.
Jimmy Carter's decision was controversial then, and a lot of people, apparently including the current president of the United States, still feel very strongly that that was a strategic error. And apparently, the current president of the United States thinks it's a reversible error.
So, can an alleged violation of the Neutrality Treaty actually allow the U.S. to reclaim the canal? Well...
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean... What did they just say about the last time that America tried to... Okay.
Not on its own.
The treaty signed in 1977 gave Panama control over the...
Somebody says dinghy in a boat on a ship, an ocean turducken.
Panama Canal, and didn't give any wiggle room for the United States to reassert control when it felt like it.
But Trump is using it to justify U.S. intervention there.
Oh, wait a minute. Dave says we get boats on the ships at the dock a few times a year. Just drag them bitches behind you, right? Like...
The first move the U.S. is making is to negotiate with...
you don't want to put water miles on it. I get it.
Canal authorities to address the concerns about China. The Panamanian authorities have already launched an audit of Hutchinson and its operations.
Perhaps instead of giving that contract to Hutchinson, which was done in 2021 and renewed for 25 years, perhaps that could go to an American port operating company or a European port operating company.
Secretary Rubio said that if changes are not made, then the U.S. would take measures to protect its rights under the treaty. For example, experts say the U.S. could use a violation of the treaty to try to legally
this all sounds free.
Yeah, that sounds
justify.
We're spreading freedom throughout the world, Mikey. Spreading freedom.
Well, I mean, we're trying to cut costs, right?
Yeah.
So kicking off military action in Panama, that's cheap.
I mean,
that's free, right?
They got to use all that money we give them.
A military invasion.
The treaties give the United States not only the right, but the obligation to defend the canal if it can really make the case that Panama's unable or unwilling to defend the strategic waterway.
But Trump has also shown hesitancy increasing the U.S.'s military presence overseas and played down its potential use.
I don't think troops will be necessary in Panama.
Following Rubio's visit, the Panamanian president announced that Panama would not be renewing its memorandum with Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative, a long-term effort by China to invest in infrastructure around the world. Rubio praised the decision on X, calling it a great step forward for U.S.-Panama relations.
Ugh. Leave them alone.
Yeah, just leave them alone, guys.
Y'all got enough shit that you're fucking up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got enough shit to deal with. Here we go. Breaking news.
Oh, God.
President Trump just posting on Truth Social in response to the EU's 50% tariff on America.
The European Union, one of the most hostile and abusive taxing and tariffing authorities in the world. Like, dude, the projection is so wild. Which was formed for the sole purpose of taking advantage of the United States. Yes, that is why Europe exists.
Yeah.
Is to take advantage of the...
The European Union solely exists to fuck with the United States. That's their whole.
Yeah,
that's their whole thing.
It's not like they have the same amount of people. That's just put a nasty 50% tariff on whiskey. I wonder why. If this tariff is not removed immediately, the U.S. will shortly place a 200% tariff on all wine, champagnes, and alcoholic products coming out of France and other EU represented countries.
This will be great for the wine and champagne business in the United States.
And I mean, not to be that guy, but champagne actually only comes from the Champagne regions of France. It's sparkling wine, but it's not champagne.
First of all, what the fuck? Why are you taxing my Irish whiskey? Stop it.
But
second of all, why are we getting our presidential fucking notifications from Truth fucking Social?
Well, this might be Twitter.
No, she said Truth Social.
It's got reposts. Don't they call it something else?
No, they're trying to make it as much like Twitter as they can, but
I thought there's like re-truth.
Yeah, I know.
And ultra truth. Make champagne American again. Shut up, Scott.
Like, what the fuck? Why do I have to get all my news from fucking Truth Social? I don't want my Truth Social account. I don't want it.
But Peacemaker 420 Blazing is the best name ever.
Why can't he just like put out his statements in like regular press releases like a sane person? Why does it got to be whatever's off the top of his head?
Why can't he just be sane, period? Republicans, why would you do this? MAGA, why would you do this? Is this what you wanted? 200% fucking tariffs on fucking whiskey? What the fuck is wrong with you people? Why do you hate life?
I hope you like paying quadruple for fucking like brandy or cognac.
Whiskey. He said if that tariff isn't removed immediately, the U.S., this is what trade war looks like, the U.S. will shortly place a 200% tariff on all wines, champagnes, and alcoholic products coming out of France and other EU represented.
He couldn't think of nowhere else that had wine.
Right? He was like, oh, wine, it only comes from France.
Fuck Spain.
There's no such thing as Italian wine either. Like.
Nope. They only make pasta sauce.
Countries checking European wine and spirit stocks.
Pizza.
Take a quick look at that to see the effect or not.
Oh, we go.
You want to know what the effect is? Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down another 560 points. The S&P 500 is officially in 10% correction territory, and the Nasdaq is just so deep into correction, it's ridiculous. So that's the effect.
How do they still think he knows what he's doing? Like what else do we have to fucking show you that this guy is a crackpot? Like, he doesn't get it.
He's just insane. He's just insane.
Meanwhile, in Canada, whiskey, sip, sip. Fuck you, Dave.
You can see.
Can't you see we're suffering down here? We didn't want any of this. All right. We're almost done. We're almost done. So I'm going to do another plug here. Today, well, for you UK people, times are weird, but in little less than 4 hours from now, I will be doing an interview with Mandisa Thomas. Yay! Air horns. Wrong one. And we're going to talk, I'm going to do a little interview, and we're going to talk about the revival of Reason, the Homecoming. They got a con, a black atheist con, but I think non-black people can go too. You can go if you want to. They'll be nice to you.
Even me?
Even you, Tim. They're going to be in Atlanta. Bro, they have a fucking cookout. They are cooking out. They're grilling. You hear me? They're grilling. And they got liquor packages. There's going to be a dance. We didn't have that at the last con I went to. It was just, a bunch of people talking. Let's double check the chat. Make sure we're caught up on everything.
Oh, and yeah, by the way, chat, if you want to watch our special Q&A that we did on Tuesday.
We did
do one.
We even posted it the same day.
Yeah, patreon.com/thebinpodcast. All you have to do is subscribe to the Patreon. You don't even necessarily have to give us money.
Yeah,
we just got to be a member.
We do have a free tier on the Patreon, and we probably should have said this last time, but we forgot. There is a very strong chance that when Kash Patel and all these other little incels decide that they are sick of listening to leftist voices on the internet, or if because the Google person was up there on the inaugural stage with Trump, there's a very real possibility that our channel will get nuked and that we won't really have any recourse. Because the oligarchs and such. So please go to the Patreon, hop on the free tier, just so in case this all disappears one day, we'll be able to get a hold of you guys and let you know what our plans and steps are going forward. Because we're not going to shut up.
Yeah, no, we're not going to.
There's no point.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. They can't silence us.
No. Because fuck them. Like, if you're going to try to destroy my birthplace, I'm going to bitch about it, and you're going to hear about it. And I'm going to try to mobilize as many people as I can to unfuck this place.
Yes.
Which is, dude, millennials really have gotten like the rawest of deals, man, as far as generations. Like, it's pretty bad. We had a pandemic, terrorist attacks.
Yeah, we're just living through all the craziest stuff.
Like, we didn't get any of the peaceful times.
Nope. So go patreon.com/thebinpodcast, become a free member. And if you want to give us money, hey, well, I'm not going to stop you.
He's been trying to stop people, but we've largely curtailed that.
I'm not eating eggs. I'm not eating eggs. I'm not eating eggs. I'm not eating eggs. I'm not.
Oh, Shody. Love us some Shody. We have a song to close out with. Here's. Can you put this in the other chat? I don't have it open.
Yeah.
There it is. Again, in a few hours, you'll see the interview. Make sure you guys have the bell notification going. Time changes are weird. And I don't want you guys to miss this interview. It's going to be really, 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 really good. I promise. I'm really excited to talk to her. She is a powerhouse. And I'm excited. So we love you. Goodbye. Good night. You can sing along if you want. Dave says, make America America again.
Vote for me, and on the very first day,
oh, we're going to enhance this man.
I'll make all your troubles go away. I'll end that war, and don't you laugh.
Lighters out, lighters out.
I'll cut all your grocery bills in half. Promises I've made, well, I've kept several.
I love Tesla.
At least a few, if I'm being on the level.
Shame!
You know it isn't smart to tell the truth or have a heart, and that's the art of the deal with the devil.
She's a Marxist. She's a Marxist.
I know I promise what I do. That's how I got those votes from you.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh.
I'll cut your bill some other time. Got so many executive orders to sign. 18th Amendment has got to go. Gotta quit the WHO. Working from home is a no, no, no. Gotta annex the Gulf of Mexico. Cut any program that's a little woke, and anything that doesn't help richer folk. The Constitution is just a joke, and I don't give a damn if you all go broke. Promises I've made, well, I've kept several. Just not to you, if I'm being on the level. You know it isn't smart to tell the truth or have a heart, and that's the art of the deal with the devil. You know it isn't smart to tell the truth or have a heart, and that's the art of the deal with the devil.
Support this old man. That shit was awesome. You did a great job. Great tune, duty. Great tune. Bye, y'all. Love you. See you tonight.
Bye.
Oh, see you tonight.
So, yeah, Unbox Politics.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.